Yellowjackets is just a few days away, and I'm here to share some theories I have for the upcoming season. I've got about 2 or 3 ideas about what we might see. We'll be covering the episodes weekly, and with 2 episodes dropping this week, expect 2 videos from me. I'll be posting regularly throughout the season, so if you're looking for a place to discuss all things Yellowjackets, this is it. So, let's get started. First, let's talk about the new clip that was released. It begins with Van recounting the story of the Yellowjackets, their plane crash, their survival, and now, their belief that Coach Ben is a homicidal monster. This suggests that the group is blaming Coach Ben for the fire that destroyed their shelter at the end of Season 2. This theory has been circulating for a while, and it's interesting to see it gaining traction. Some fans online have speculated that it might not have been Coach Ben at all. Instead, they think it could have been Taissa during her Disassociate episode, with Van helping to cover it up and shift the blame to Ben. This would make sense, as the group is trying to maintain the idea that they're being guided by some kind of supernatural force, which is also mentioned in the clip. By pinning the blame on Ben, they could be setting him up as the next sacrifice, which would be convenient since he's not part of their inner circle. This would allow them to avoid sacrificing one of their own. Another interesting detail in the clip is the contrast between Van's storytelling and Shauna's perspective, which she writes about in her diary. Shauna is now with the group, but she's in her own little hut, which we learn was built in 12 days. The group is trying to move forward after the events of Season 2, especially since spring has arrived. However, Shauna is struggling to let go of the past, her baby, Jackie's death, and everything they've been through. She feels like something is off, and she's not alone in this. Travis also seems uneasy as he walks away during Van's speech, and Lottie appears to share his doubts. Natalie, on the other hand, is trying to step into her new role as the group's leader, but it's clear she's not entirely comfortable with it. This aligns with her future self, who seems to believe that their survival was more about chance than any grand spiritual intervention. Now, let's get into my theories for Season 3. First, I think Coach Ben will become the primary antagonist for the girls in their teenage timeline. There are moments in the trailer where we see Coach Ben, and I believe he'll be put on trial to determine whether he was responsible for the fire. If found guilty, his punishment could be being eaten by the group. This ties into a theory I had back in Season 1 about the possibility of other survivors. While I initially thought Coach Ben might have survived and gone into hiding, the idea of him being captured and put on trial makes more sense now. However, I still think there's a chance he could escape and survive, possibly even changing his identity. Another theory I have is about Melissa, one of the lesser-known girls from the group. I believe Hillary Swank's new character in Season 3 might actually be an adult version of Melissa. It's possible that some of the girls went their separate ways after being rescued, and the core group assumed those who didn't return had died. Melissa could have survived and is now trying to uncover the truth about what happened in the wilderness. Alternatively, Hillary Swank's character could be a relative of Coach Ben, which is another strong possibility. Moving on, I think we're going to see a major rift form between the adult survivors. Natalie's death is going to have a huge impact on the group, especially Misty, who had a strong connection to her. In the trailer, we see Misty burning a picture of the group and even stabbing Shauna in one scene. While this could be a figment of Misty's imagination, it still shows her growing dissatisfaction with the group. I think Misty is done with them, and this could lead to some serious conflict. Additionally, the show's creators have mentioned that they plan for 5 seasons, so Season 3 will need to start moving the story toward its endgame. One of the biggest questions since Season 1 has been the identity of Pit Girl. While many initially thought it was Mari or Jackie, it's becoming less clear. The necklace, which was once thought to be a clue, is now part of the group's ritual, so it doesn't necessarily point to one specific person. Shauna's descent into disillusionment will also be a key focus this season. She's starting to question the group's decisions, and her rivalry with Natalie is likely to escalate, especially since she believes she should have been the Antler Queen. In conclusion, my main theories for Season 3 are: 1. Coach Ben will be put on trial and could become the group's next sacrifice. 2. Hillary Swank's character is either Melissa or a relative of Coach Ben. 3. The adult survivors will face major conflicts, especially after Natalie's death. Let me know your thoughts and theories for Season 3. Where do you think the story is headed? It's going to be wild, and I'm excited to see how everything unfolds. We're just 2 days away from the first 2 episodes. As always, I'll be posting videos regularly, so stay tuned for more Yellowjackets content.